Hey, before we get into this, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now. Because we cover stories like this every single day, and trust me, you don't want to miss what happened at Coachella this year. Okay, let's go back to April 2026. California desert, 100,000 people. And one moment that broke the internet in about 30 seconds flat. Sabrina Carpenter walked onto that Coachella stage as a headliner. And if you know her story, you know how big that is. 2 years ago, she was performing at the same festival, not as a headliner, just another act on the lineup. And at the end of that set, she looked out at the crowd and said, "See you back here when I headline." People clapped, they thought it was cute. Nobody really knew if it would happen. And then Espresso dropped, and then Please, Please, Please went number one. And then her album Short and Sweet debuted at number one on the Billboard 200. And suddenly, Sabrina Carpenter wasn't just a rising star anymore. She was the moment. So when Coachella 2026 announced its headliners, Sabrina Carpenter, Justin Bieber and Karol G, nobody was shocked. She had manifested it and she had earned it. Now let me ask you something real quick. How many of you actually watched her Coachella set live or on stream? Drop it in the comments. Because her production was genuinely insane. She called it Sabrina Wood, a full Hollywood theme, classic movie references, a recreation of the Dirty Dancing lift from 1987, celebrity cameos, showgirls, sparkling costumes. She had been building this show for 7 months. 7 months of planning for one night, and for most of the night it was perfect. Then came the moment. She sat down at the piano, the crowd got quiet. She was about to play a softer song, and right in that silence, a sound rang out from somewhere in the audience. High pitched, thrilling, powerful, like nothing most people in that crowd had ever heard before. That sound was a Zaghrouta. It's a traditional vocal expression from Arab and North African culture done by women to celebrate joy, to honor someone, to mark a special moment. You hear it at weddings, at graduations, at victories. It's beautiful, honestly. It's culturally significant. And it was this woman's way of celebrating Sabrina in the biggest way she knew how. But Sabrina didn't know any of that. She stopped, looked out into the crowd, and said, "I think I heard someone yodeling. Is that what you're doing? I don't like it." The fan shouted back, "It's my culture." And here's where it got complicated. Because instead of pausing, instead of asking, instead of just moving on, Sabrina responded with, "That's your culture, yodeling?" And then when the fan explained it was a call of celebration, Sabrina said, "Is this Burning Man? What's going on? This is weird." And then she moved on with the show. Now let me stop here and ask you, because I genuinely want to know what you think. If you were in that moment on that stage with 100,000 people watching and you heard a sound you didn't recognize, what would in the comments? Put it in the comments, because this is exactly where the internet split into two very loud camps. Camp 1 said she was being dismissive of someone's culture on a global stage in front of the world. You have a responsibility when you have that platform, and she failed it. The Zaghrouta isn't random noise, it's centuries of tradition. And to call it weird, to compare it to yodeling, to make it the punchline of a joke, that's not just ignorance, that's disrespect. Camp 2 said relax. She is a performer in the middle of a massive show. She didn't see the person, she couldn't hear clearly, she had no context, and she made a sarcastic joke that landed badly. That's not racism, that's just a bad moment under pressure. And honestly, both camps have a point, which is what made this story so complicated. The clip went viral within hours, millions of views, think pieces everywhere. People were tagging Sabrina, tagging news outlet, tagging cultural organizations, and by the very next day, she posted an apology on X. She wrote, "My apologies, I didn't see this person with my eyes and couldn't hear clearly. My reaction was pure confusion, sarcasm, and not ill-intended. Could have handled it better. Now I know what a Zaghrouta is. I welcome all cheers and yodels from here on out." And here's the thing, most people actually accepted it. Not everyone, but most, because the apology was specific. It wasn't vague corporate sorry if you were offended language. She named the Zaghrouta. She acknowledged she could have done better. She kept it short and real. But the conversation didn't stop there, because this moment plugged into something much bigger, a long-running debate about what we expect from artists who have global audiences. When you sell out stadiums across the world, when your fans come from every country and every culture, do you have a responsibility to know more, to learn more, to be prepared for more? And that's not a question with an easy answer. Some artists spend years studying the cultures of their fan bases. Others don't. Some get called out and grow from it. Others double down. Sabrina chose to acknowledge, apologize, and move forward. Whether that's enough, that's for you to decide. What I will say is this: her Coachella show, despite that one moment, was genuinely one of the most talked about performances of the year. The production, the energy, the full circle story of a girl who promised a crowd she'd come back as a headliner and actually did it, that's not nothing, that's actually kind of remarkable. But the internet doesn't let you have a perfect night, not anymore, and maybe that's okay. Maybe the conversations that come out of moments like this about culture, about awareness, about how we respond when we get things wrong, maybe those conversations are worth having. So tell me what you think. Was Sabrina in the wrong? Did she handle the apology well? And do we hold artists to too high a standard or not high enough? Drop your thoughts below. I read every single comment, and if you made it this far, you already know what to do. Subscribe, hit the bell, share this with someone who loves pop culture drama. We'll see you in the next one.